Take a slow breath in and let it out. Let the day be over now. Not because everything was perfect. Not because every feeling has been resolved, but because you have carried enough for one day. Tonight is not for proving that you handled everything correctly. Tonight is not for replaying every moment where you wish you had been calmer, faster, kinder, braver, or more prepared. Tonight is for coming back to yourself with gentleness. You are allowed to be a person who had a hard day. You are allowed to be a person who did not know exactly what to do. You are allowed to be a person who got overwhelmed, misunderstood something, said too little, said too much, froze, snapped, avoided, delayed, or simply ran out of energy. None of that makes you beyond kindness. None of that makes you unworthy of rest. None of that means you failed at being human. Put one hand somewhere comfortable if that feels right. Your chest, your stomach, your blanket, or just let your hands rest. You do not have to perform calm. You do not have to make this moment look peaceful from the outside. You only have to let yourself be met. Here is the truth. You did the best you could with the nervous system, information, energy, history, fear, pressure, and tenderness you had available today. Maybe your best was messy. Maybe your best was tired. Maybe your best looked nothing like the version of yourself you imagined this morning. But it was still a human best. And a human best deserves compassion. Not punishment. Not a courtroom. Not a long night of proving why you should have known better. Compassion. Take another breath. Let your shoulders drop a little. Let your jaw unclench. Let your forehead soften. You can review without attacking yourself. You can learn without shaming yourself. You can apologize, repair, adjust, and grow without turning your own mind into a place you are afraid to be. That is what self-forgiveness is. It is not pretending nothing happened. It is not avoiding responsibility. It is not saying every choice was fine. Self-forgiveness is the moment you stop using pain as proof that you deserve more pain. It is the moment you say, I can be accountable and still be gentle with myself. I can notice what hurt and still remember my worth. I can want to do better without hating the part of me that struggled. If today brought up shame, let it be named softly. Shame says, this mistake means something is wrong with me. Compassion says, this moment was hard, and I can still come home to myself. Shame says, I should hide. Compassion says, I can repair when I am ready. Shame says, I am too much. Compassion says, I had too much to carry. Shame says, I ruined everything. Compassion says, one hard day is not the whole story. Let that be true for a moment. One hard day is not the whole story. One awkward conversation is not the whole story. One reaction is not the whole story. One delay, one mistake, one emotional moment, one spiral, one shutdown, one imperfect attempt is not the whole story. You are not a single scene from your life. You are the whole person still learning how to live it. Breathe in and breathe out. If your mind is looking for evidence against you tonight, gently decline the trial. You do not need to gather every flaw before bed. You do not need to prepare a case against your own heart. You do not need to prove that you feel bad enough to be allowed to change. Feeling bad is not what makes growth real. Presence does. Honesty does. Care does. Repair does. And those things are easier to access when you are not exhausted from self-attack. So let this night be softer. Let it be simple. Let it be the place where you stop fighting yourself. Maybe there is something you wish you could redo. Maybe there is a sentence you wish you had said differently. Maybe you wanted to show up with more confidence. Maybe you wanted to stay patient. Maybe you wanted to be productive, and instead you moved slowly. Maybe you wanted to be okay, and instead you were sensitive. Maybe you wanted to be strong, and instead your body asked for rest. That does not make you weak. That makes you alive. You are allowed to have limits. You are allowed to have needs. You are allowed to have patterns that are still healing. You are allowed to have a body that speaks before your mind has found the perfect words. You are allowed to be in progress. Say this quietly, even if you do not fully believe it yet. I am allowed to be in progress. Again, I am allowed to be in progress. One more time. I am allowed to be in progress. Let those words settle somewhere deeper than thought. You do not have to become someone else tonight. You do not have to solve the pattern tonight. You do not have to understand every root, every trigger, every fear, every old wound, every reason you reacted the way you did. Sometimes healing begins with one smaller choice. I will not abandon myself because I had a hard day. I will not speak to myself like an enemy. I will not confuse regret with identity. I will not turn growth into self-punishment. I can hold the truth and hold myself at the same time. If there is repair to make tomorrow, let tomorrow hold it. If there is a boundary to set, let tomorrow hold it. If there is an apology to offer, let tomorrow hold it. If there is a decision to make, let tomorrow hold it. Right now, your job is not to fix the whole shape of your life. Right now, your job is to return to the body that carried you through today. Notice the surface beneath you. Notice the weight of the blanket. Notice the breath entering and leaving. Notice that this moment is asking less from you than your mind is. The room is not asking you to explain yourself. The night is not asking for perfection. Your breath is not asking for a performance. You can just be here. You can just be tired. You can just be human. There is a kind of peace that arrives when you stop demanding that the day become different before you let it end. The day was what it was. You felt what you felt. You did what you could. You learned what you were able to learn. And now, you are allowed to close the chapter gently. Not slam it shut. Not tear it apart. Just close it. Softly, with enough trust that tomorrow can meet you when it comes. Let your eyes rest. Let your breath slow. Let your body know that the work of being hard on yourself is finished for tonight. You are not required to earn tenderness. You are not required to become flawless before you are worthy of rest. You are not required to punish yourself into becoming lovable. You are already someone who deserves care. Even here, especially here, on the days when you feel disappointed in yourself, on the nights when your heart feels heavy, on the moments when your inner voice gets sharp, especially then. That is when gentleness matters most. So let this be the sentence you return to. I can be honest without being cruel. I can be honest without being cruel. I can be honest without being cruel. Let honesty become warm. Let accountability become steady. Let growth become possible because you are safe enough inside yourself to look. You are not stuck because you struggled today. You are not broken because you need practice. You are not behind because healing is taking time. You are learning a kinder way to belong to yourself. And that learning counts, even when it is slow, even when it repeats, even when it feels invisible. It counts. Take one more slow breath in and let it out. Place the day down. Place the pressure down. Place the old story down, the one that says you must be perfect to be safe. You can pick up what matters tomorrow. You can repair what needs repairing tomorrow. You can try again tomorrow. Tonight you can rest. Tonight you can forgive yourself enough to sleep. Tonight you can let being human be enough. I am allowed to rest after a hard day. I am allowed to be gentle with the parts of me that struggled. I am allowed to learn without hating myself. I am allowed to close the day. I am allowed to sleep